Okay, perfect. So, a little about me. So, my name is Ujwal. I am a recent medical graduate from University College of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. I recently took my step 2 CK in April this year, and I got a 267, which is around 93 to 94th percentile. Currently, I am in the process of applying to internal medicine match, so I am still submitting my application this month. Um, in this video, I have summarized two important strategies that helped me score well on my exam, and these two strategies pretty much answers most of the questions that people ask me on whether how to do the Uworld, or I mean how to what resources to follow and all of those things. So I'll be going uh, over these two strategies one by one. So talking about the pizza strategy, uh, when I started my preparation, and when most people start their preparation for step 2 CK, the first question comes into the mind is, how do I even start the preparation? There are no resources. And we do have first aid for step 1, but what about step 2? How do I start? How do I approach the preparation? What resources do I use? Are there even any resources? And okay, and people suggest just directly do the U world, but if I want to do U world, how many passes of U world should I do? Should I do 2 passes of U world? And how do I even approach U world, right? So these are the few questions I had in mind, and I feel almost everybody have in their mind when they start their step 2 preparation. So for this, I have a very simple pizza strategy. Basically, you have to do UWorld once, but how can you do your syllabus once and do it so well that it actually compares to 3 effective passes of UWorld? So for that, step 1 is priming. By priming, what I mean is you have no idea what is coming next for you, right? You just took your step 1 a couple of months ago, and you have no idea what to even study for step 2 and what is coming ahead for you. So it is important to prime yourself by information of what's coming next. And for that, you can do it by two methods. One is you get some pre-made UWorld notes. You can easily get them. There are a couple of good notes on Reddit or Telegram. You can ask in the Metamorphosis group for the suggestions if you want to. Or if you don't like notes, you can go for the Zanki deck or Anki deck and make your own notes. I'll show you how. So this is the example of notes that I read for my preparation, for my priming. Okay, these are very similar to first aid for step 1, and I use these notes to prime myself for what's coming next, to just get a brief information of all the topics, so unit wise, to know, okay, to know, I mean, just to get a brief idea of things before I start on the questions. If you don't like notes, you're not confident, and you don't trust any notes, and you want to make your own notes, I would suggest going for the Zanki deck or the Anki deck. I hope everybody knows what those are. These are the space repetition cards. There are some pre-made decks. The famous one is the Zanki deck. You can easily find it online on Reddit. So basically, you can use this deck either to just go through all the cards once and not and do not take any notes, or use these cards to make your own notes. I would highly suggest making your own notes, because if you just use the Zanki deck once and go through the cards, there is no way for you to return to a particular topic and reread that topic, right? So, and the syllabus is so vast, if you cannot even hope of remembering things by just reading them once. So I would highly suggest that either just go with the pre-made notes that somebody else has made, or if you're making your own note, if you're using Zanki deck, please make your own notes so that you can refer them back. If you come across some topic and you want to revise that topic, you can easily go back to that topic and revise that topic or add some more information to it. So these are my two approaches to just prime yourself with the information firsthand. The step 2 is learning the information. So how do you do it? So you already have your base ready, right? With the notes that you made or the notes that you got from the internet. Then once you have that information, you use that information to solve the UWorld questions, right? And you will not find any notes in the market or any internet or any deck on the internet that will help you, or that is totally up to date, right? It UWorld continuously keeps updating themselves. So you will find a lot of new information that is not in the notes, or you might find some useful information that the author of the notes has not already mentioned in his notes, right? So you solve the UWorld questions, you read the information explanations properly, and whatever extra information you find that okay, this is useful for me and this might be really beneficial, you add on to the same notes. Like the toppings on the pizza. You have your base ready, you top it up with extra information you find on the notes. Okay. And that's how you keep doing that. That is what you keep doing for the next 3.5 to 4 months till you solve your world completely. So some helpful applications for doing that. I have used all three of these, and I would so this screenshot is for the liquid text application. This is, I think this is only on iOS. So you just put in the PDF here. You can easily highlight, mark, or do anything that you want to do here. And there is a canvas here that you can use to link more information to these topics. I'll show you how. Or I'm sure everybody knows about good notes or notability, right? So this is my first state. This is the same app, Liquid Text. I I mean everything that so first state was my base for the step one preparation. So this was my base, right? I highlighted, marked everything that I had to. These were my toppings. So this is sketchy. So this is so I put everything in one place so that it is easier for me to revise. So everything was here in just one place. This was sketchy. It was here marked by green. This was UWorld marked by purple. So this is a really beneficial app. This gets slow sometimes, but overall, I would highly recommend it. My entire first aid with UWorld annotated is on this app. I do not know how to do this for the people who prefer reading actual books, physical books, but for digital nomads like me, I mean, you can totally refer to this app, Liquid Text or Notability. So once you have your base ready and your toppings ready, now is the time for final revision. So basically by the end of 4.5 months, what you will have will be will probably be 1,000 page PDF, right? With the base notes and everything that extra that you have added. So those notes are literally the up-to-date notes that you have made yourself, right? And by because you so for because you primed yourself once, that was first pass of UWorld. Then you did the actual pass of UWorld by solving the questions and adding on additional knowledge to it. And the final step, and the third pass would be to just rapidly revise all the notes that you have made, right? So if you approach, so people who approach you world and they think that okay, they'll do second pass of it by solving 4,000 questions again, it will easily take them close to 1.5 to 2 months to do all the questions again, and that too when they are solving at least 80 to 100 questions a day, right? But just because you have this 1,000 page PDF, the PDF that you have seen multiple times almost daily throughout your preparation of 4 months, it should take you at least, I mean, maximum of 1 to 2 weeks to completely revise this PDF. And this is exactly what I did. So now when you revise this PDF, this will be counted as the effective entire pass of your world, and that too in just 2 weeks. You'll revise when you have seen this PDF for the 4 months straight. You will realize that you have formed a visual spatial memory, and it will be very easy for you to just flip the pages and revise the entire thing. Uh, Here's the thing here. When you have 1,000 page PDF, it will take you 2 weeks to revise it, but you cannot expect to revise everything. uh, Imagine what will happen when you are just 1 week, when you have exam in just 1 week, right? You cannot expect to open the PDF of 1,000 pages again and revise everything. There will be a lot of things that you will forget again. So you revise it first, and while revising, you extract the high yield information for the last minute revision. There are a lot of things in step 2 CK which are very, very volatile. I mean, questions like when do you repair aortic aneurysm? It should be more than 5 centimeter in size. It should grow more than 1 centimeter in 1 year. All these values you tend to forget, right? So how do you extract this high yield information for last minute revision? So there are two methods that I employed. First one is that you can make mind maps while you're revising your PDF that you made, or you can use voice memos to record your, I mean, just to record unit wise of what is the most volatile information and keep, I mean, how do you do it? So suppose you're doing CVS, right? And CVS is like 60 pages of that PDF. So you go through the PDF, you record your voice in what you think is the most important and volatile information, and you keep forgetting it again and again. It should turn out to be around 45 to 1 hour long podcast. And if you have these podcasts for every single unit, imagine suppose you have 10 units, and you have podcast 1 hour each for each 1 hour podcast each for every unit. So essentially you have 10 hours of podcast. In the last week of your exam, if you just have to spend 10 hours to revise the entire syllabus again. Just listen to those recordings, and literally you can revise the entire syllabus in just 10 hours. And if you don't like voice memos, there's other thing that you can do, which are the mind maps. So this is something that I employed personally. I'll show you how exactly. So muscular cutaneous, this unit was approximately 60 to 70 pages in my PDF, right? And there were so many confusing similar sounding terms and so much information that it was really hard for me to grasp all of that. And they ask you very teeny tiny bits on the actual exams, as simple things as difference between, they will give you a very confusing scenario, and you will be confused between rotator cuff tendinopathy or rotator cuff tear, right? In one you do MRI and ultrasound to diagnose it, in the other one you just give NSAIDs and rest. And these teeny tiny bits is where most people make mistakes, because they don't remember exactly what to do. So this is how I made my mind maps. I went through all these notes, and while going through my notes, I made these quick glance mind maps. So my entire musculocutaneous chapter was summarized very well in this mind maps in just 4 to 5 pages. That's it. A similar example for CVS. So a lot of things can go wrong with aorta. It could be aneurysm or coarctation, trauma, dissection, and they really confuse you with the presentation. So I just made a quick glance view of aorta, of what all to expect when aorta is in the question. And this made it very easy for me to revise in the last 1 week, or in the last one day, I would say, because the entire syllabus I summarized it in these quick mind maps in just less than 100 pages, I would say. So I just had 100 pages to read, and because I had already read these pages about 20 times, it just took me 2 to 3 hours to revise the entire syllabus. I had it on my tips of what to do next if a person has aortic dissection, of what how to diagnose it, how to know what presentation is what for aorta and questions. So it made it very really easy for me. I had all the syllabus all really fresh in my mind. So that is all. I mean, so first pass is when you're priming yourself. The second pass is when you are solving the actual Uworld questions. And the third pass is when you are rapidly revising your PDF that you made and making a quick mind maps out of it for the last minute revision, or recording your voice memos. Both of these strategies work really well. Just make sure that you compress your syllabus as much as possible to revise during the last week, because I'm telling you that really helps. It really helps you answer questions really fast, because you don't have to think too much. If it is on your tips, you just straight away mark your answer. It will help you save a lot of time, and it will help you mark a lot of questions correct, because you will not be confused between teeny miny details.